Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Byron Brown, and I am the mayor of the city of Buffalo, and very pleased to be with all of you this morning. We were wondering if that theme music you were playing backstage was ordered for the governor. Who is the DJ here today? Now, before we get started, I'd like to recognize some special guests who are with us today. Erie County Clerk Chris Jacobs, City of Buffalo Comptroller Mark Schroeder, City of Olean Mayor William Aiello, Town of Tonawanda Supervisor Anthony Caruana, Town of Grand Island Supervisor Mary Cook, and all of the distinguished elected and community leaders who have joined us today. I also, of course, want to give a very special warm welcome to Governor Andrew Cuomo and Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who are both here with us today. Let's give them a round of applause. I also want to say on behalf of the entire community to our governor that he and his family are in our thoughts and our prayers. Governor Cuomo and Cardinal Dolan are here to talk about an important topic, supporting educational alternatives for our students and families. All of our schools are important, public, private, parochial, religious, and the vision of education is to provide our children with the skills and tools they will need for their future. That's why the governor's proposal is critical. It makes getting a quality education more affordable for students and families, especially those at lower income levels, and helps children reach their future potential. It opens the door to more scholarships and tax credits to ease the cost of tuition for the children of working and middle-class families. And it encourages people to support our public schools with donations to things like after-school programs and tax credits for teachers that go above and beyond to purchase supplies for their classrooms. And we know that so many of our teachers do that. The proposal the governor and cardinal are here to discuss is one that will help empower parents to decide where their child is educated, and it is a proposal I am proud to support and one that will help students in Buffalo and Western New York pursue the education that they deserve and desire. I want to thank Governor Cuomo and Cardinal Dolan for their leadership on this important issue for families across New York State, which will benefit every school, family, and student in our education system. Let's give them another round of applause. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce Pastor James Lewis, who is the senior pastor of Miracle Mission's Full Gospel Church.
Let us thank our wonderful mayor for that great introduction. I am the Reverend Dr. James A. Lewis III, pastor of the Erie County Miracle Center. We thank God for that little place over on Grider Street. I'm also the overseer of the Western New York Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship, and of course, as the mayor mentioned, Miracle Missions, because all of us are miracles and we are on a mission. Beloved, it's no secret to parents and community leaders here in Western New York and across this entire state that many of our parochial and religious affiliated private schools are struggling to make ends meet and keep their doors open. Just recently, many of the schools have shuttered their doors. These schools are part of the fabric of our community, an option that thousands of parents choose to invest in a brighter and more secure future for their children. When we reflect on the good old days, we have to remember that all of us were affiliated with some kind of church, school, somewhere, somehow. I remember growing up the early release where we were released for religious instructions from our schools. Yet we haven't supported these schools like we should, and we haven't given fair treatment to the parents who are struggling to afford the cost of tuition. Parents who send their children to private and parochial schools, these parents and students pay a tuition as well as property taxes like the rest of us to support public education, which adds a heavy financial burden to a parent's choice where to send their child to school. I know this for a fact. My grandchildren are graduating from Canisius High School with a great education and scholarships to go to college, but we have to go and do bingo and raise money in order to get the tuition in there. Can I get an amen somewhere? We are New Yorkers, and we're parents, and we deserve the freedom to decide where to send our children. That's why this great governor is here in Western New York today. He has a proposal that must pass the legislature this year. This year. The time has come. It must be done this year. This proposal will restore fairness. How many of y'all want fairness? Aren't you tired of being mistreated? I want fairness, and I want it now. I want protection of a parent's right to choose what school is best for their children. Whatever school's getting them the best education, that's where we need to be. I thank you for applauding my words, but I want you to applaud this governor that's making a change in New York State. Thank God for Mayor Brown and the other mayors across this great state, the mayor of Niagara Falls and all of them that line up behind this governor. We thank God for his leadership in fighting for fairness across all New York State schools. We thank God for the Bishop of Buffalo, the pastor of Buffalo, Bishop Malone. But we also thank God for this rare opportunity to be in the presence of the pastor of all of New York State. Ladies and gentlemen, won't you join me in welcoming a great big round of applause for Cardinal Dolan. God bless you all.
Let's give Reverend Lewis another round of applause for getting this rally going. I also want to recognize the wonderful president of Canisius College who is with us today, John Hurley. The next speaker we will hear from is an advocate for educational choice and opportunity locally. Please welcome the 14th Bishop of Buffalo, Bishop Richard Malone, to the podium.
Hi, everybody. Wonderful to be with you. And let me first thank all of you for your passion, your commitment that allowed all of you to pull this together in just a few days' time. It shows the depth of the concern and of the hope and of the emotion that's here for this wonderful thing that Governor Cuomo has been supporting now for quite a long time. We're so grateful, and in our Catholic community and beyond that, because this is something that benefits schools, as you know, across the whole religious spectrum of whatever the faith tradition might be, as well as other schools as well, the private and public schools. So thank you all for pulling it together. Absolutely. All of you. And I'm happy also to welcome John Hurley, president of Canisius, but next to him is Father Jim Marr, who's the president of Niagara University, one of our other great schools. Thank you. And I'm going to stop right there with the personal acknowledgments. I just want to say this, and I can say it very quickly because we have others who have more important things probably to put out here for you than I do. Most of my ministry has been around some part of Catholic education, and that fire still burns within me, and it always will. And so I'm thrilled to be with you today. The legislation that we're working on now with the governor's strong support, and also I'm happy to say the support of so many of our legislators, including people from our own Western New York region. We thank all of the assembly members and senators who've been with us all along. Let's give them a hand as well. But my interest as the Bishop of Buffalo in this very, very important project is not only for the building up of our Catholic schools. It certainly does that. When we can have more people find it affordable to have their children in our schools, that's good for those children and families for sure who wouldn't be able to do it without this tax credit. Also, of course, it strengthened those schools. We don't want to close any more schools. And so as we absolutely. So as we have more students populating our Catholic schools, because there still are empty seats in those schools, it strengthens their future as well. And that's a very, very important consideration. But the last point I would make is simply this, and I shared this with Governor Cuomo one time at a meeting. By the way, all the New York State bishops of all 8 dioceses are following Cardinal Dolan's lead. You can imagine about 30 bishops up here who would all be saying the same thing right now, right, Eminence? We're all with this completely. But one time at a meeting in Albany, I mentioned in the presence of Governor Cuomo that we're very grateful to the governor for the way he has supported the development of our economy and so many other things here in Western New York. We have new technologies, we have new industries, we have new science growing here, and we're going to need to have qualified people, women and men, serve in those jobs and hopefully stay here in Western New York as well. And I simply will say this, speaking for our Catholic schools, and I know it's true of other schools as well, we know that we strive for excellence in our Catholic schools, and we come very close to it, if not meeting it, in most areas. We always have more work to do to make things better. But I really believe that the graduates of our schools, as they go on now through high school, through college, can become really an important part of our workforce, wherever they go, but especially here in Western New York. Our students score very high on the various tests. They have a very high percentage who graduate from high school, go on to college, and this will help us bring more and more Western New York young people through a system. And as I say, I'm only speaking for the Catholic schools now, but I know it applies to so many other schools too, that will provide for us a strong, capable, competent workforce to continue building on the tradition we already have and the assistance and the guidance that Governor Cuomo has been giving to us. So thank you so very much. God bless you. And I've done as best as I can following Reverend Lewis over there. So
Thank you very much, Bishop Malone. Let's give Bishop Malone another round of applause. Our next speaker is a scholar. He is a dynamic national and international faith leader. He has been a powerful voice of support for the proposals that the governor is presenting today. Please join me in welcoming His Eminence, Cardinal Timothy Dolan.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks, everybody. I am honored, I'm grateful, I'm excited about being in the company of so many of you. Governor Cuomo, who's been an enthusiastic leader in freedom of choice and education. Mayor Brown and our other political and civic leaders. Reverend James Lewis, who reminds us that this just isn't a Catholic issue, folks. This is all religions and none at all who are interested in quality education for our kids. Reverend Lewis, it was worth it to come up here to hear a Baptist minister come out in favor of bingo. Thank you. This is great. Throw that into the budget, Governor. Let's go. We'll get the bingos going. I am honored, grateful, and excited not only to be with our religious and political leaders, to be with the press. Thank you for your interest. To be with so many of our parents, to be with wonderful teachers, our religious sisters, our priests who are so committed to quality education. But most of all, everybody, I am excited, honored, and grateful to be in the company of our students in our schools. This is about you, students. We love you. You're our treasure. There's nothing better we can do for the future of our beloved state and our country, and yes, our church, than to see that you get the best education possible. I don't know about you all, but two things I hear constantly as I go around the state. First of all, that education of our kids is priority number one. And number two, what I hear from New Yorkers, and now I'm honored to be one, is that, boy, it would be great if we would see Albany work together and get something done. Well, guess what? Guess what? If we follow the leadership of Governor Cuomo, we're going to be able to accomplish both those goals because we've got support now of a magnificent initiative that's going to help our students, that's going to solidify and strengthen our education. And so there's supporting our priority of education. And secondly, we've got a remarkable array, Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, union ownership. We've got Catholics, we've got Baptists, we've got Jews, we've got people of no religion at all. We've got police and fire and rescue workers. We've got corporate owners and the people who are janitors in our big office buildings. They are all coming together for this choice in education, our education investment tax credit and our tax credit for parents. This is bringing people together, and folks, it's a no-brainer, and wouldn't it be refreshing if we could see our government rally around, listen to the people, detect a genuine need when it comes to the priority of education, and get this no-brainer, common sense, fair, and just initiative passed. We need you. Thank you. God bless.
We are so honored to have Cardinal Dolan with us in our community. Let's give Cardinal Dolan another round of applause. As Cardinal Dolan has stated, the governor's proposals today are about the education of our children, all children. And I am very pleased to introduce one of your own, a student, Kenneth Gopos, who is a senior at Canisius High School. Kenneth is someone, we were talking backstage, he is potentially a future town supervisor or mayor or governor or Fortune 100 CEO, or cardinal or bishop. Please join me in welcoming Kenneth Gopos.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Ken Gopos. I'm a senior at Canisius High School, and I'm truly honored to be here with all of you today. I'm especially pleased to be here discussing such an important issue. I have attended parochial schools since I was very young, and I know that they have helped me grow and pursue new opportunities at every turn in my life. When I was 2 years old, my family left our home in Africa and moved here to Western New York. My mother wanted the best education possible for all her 4 children, and as a result, we each have attended Jesuit schools here in the region. Like my siblings, I have benefited greatly from my private and parochial schools, and I want to continue that kind of education. In fact, most of the colleges that I have applied to here in New York are run by the Jesuits. The school that I attended from kindergarten up through Canisius have shaped me into the person I am today, and I'm tremendously proud of that fact. But I also know that not every student has the opportunities that I have had. In fact, I know that many private and religious schools are struggling in New York State today, and many have even had to close. And I also know that not every family can afford to pay the tuition at a private or parochial school. That is why it is truly important that we are all here today. We need to make sure that state legislators stand up for private and parochial schools and family like mine. Now, I would like to introduce someone who is fighting to make sure that that happens. Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to all of you. To Kenneth and Canisius, let's give them a round of applause. It's good to be back in Western New York. It's good to be back with my friend, Mayor Byron Brown, who's really doing a fantastic job, isn't he? Let's give him a round of applause. You know, when the mayor came out, he made that comment about the music that was playing. Remember the music that was before? He thought it was done for me. It was a little dated, the music. It was a little old. But I could relate to the music. I heard the song from Saturday Night Fever playing. Now, for those of you youngsters who have not yet seen Saturday Night Fever, you want to go home and look at it because that is a classic piece of American film that you have to understand. And you will meet in that film a person named John Travolta. A lot of people say I look like John Travolta. Oh, yeah. And when you see me on the dance floor, you'll know I have nothing to do with John Travolta. Big round of applause to Mayor Byron Brown. Reverend Lewis, thank you for the inspiration, thank you for the energy, thank you for the leadership. Bishop Malone, thank you for being with us. Thank you for your steady hand. Thank you for your leadership and what you mean to Western New York. Your Eminence, Cardinal Dolan, I don't think there's ever been a person who has come to New York, moved to New York, become a New Yorker, and as powerful and inspirational a presence a New Yorker as you have brought. And it's an honor to be with you, sir. And I want to welcome His Eminence to the new Western New York. Now, this is a little different. If you had been here 10 years ago, Your Eminence, Western New York was a different place. Even 7 years ago, 6 years ago, there was a different sense of the economy. There was a different outlook. There was more cynicism. There was more pessimism. People were leaving Western New York. They were leaving Buffalo. There were questions about what the future was going to be. But Buffalo, over the past few years, has really done a 180-degree turn. Buffalo came together. This is a Buffalo that is looking forward, that is attracting jobs, that is attracting young people to come back. Buffalo Bills have signed on to stay because they know a winning region when they see it, so the arrows are pointed up, and that's thanks to the people who Buffalo came together and made a better future. Today's issue is very important, but it's also very simple, and as you heard from the preceding speakers, we do a lot of things as parents, as government officials, as religious leaders. And we work on a lot of issues. We work on the economy, we work on the environment, we work on a lot of things. But the single most important issue, bar none, is education. That is the issue. And it is education of our young people. Because one of the tests at the end of the day as to whether or not we were good citizens, good stewards, is how we leave this place. And do we leave this place a better place? And have we made it better for the young people who go ahead? And have we given you more of a head start than we had ourselves? And how you are educated is everything. And if it is that important, then the question becomes, where are you educated? And how are you educated? And who is going to make the choice as to where and how you're educated? And our point today is the parents should have that power, and the parents should make that choice. Now, when I was young, my parents sent me to parochial school, St. Gerard Magella. My mother thought it was very important that I had a religious education. My father thought that I posed, let's call it, disciplinary challenges. That's what it was, that I was challenged from a disciplinary point of view, and he thought the nuns would be especially helpful to me in righting my disciplinary wrongs. And they worked very hard at disciplining me. I want you to know, the number of rulers that I caused to be broken were in the scores. And St. Gerard Magella was great for me. The cardinal and my father would say the nuns failed at teaching me discipline, but they tried their best. And I had a magnificent experience. When I became a father, I have my 3 daughters. We chose to educate them for elementary school in public school. Well, what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's better? It's up to you. It's up to the parent. My father and mother chose parochial school. I chose public school. It's up to the parent. And there is no right or wrong, but it has to be up to the parent. Now, for the parent to have a choice, a parent needs options. Because if you have no options, you have no choice. And that's what this is really all about. Do you have the options? The school I went to, St. Gerard Magella, is now closed. More and more Catholic schools are closing. They're consolidating. Why? Because they can't afford to stay open. Many religious schools are closing because they can't afford to stay open. But if the school is closed, then you don't have the option of sending your child to that school. Many of the schools, the tuition is now too high to pay. And lower income families or middle class families in this economy, as hard as it is, they can't afford to pay all the bills and then pay tuition for a religious school or a parochial school. So you really have no choice unless you have the options. Unless the schools are there and unless the schools are affordable, you have no choice. And that's what this is about. Not just giving you the choice in name, but giving you the choice in reality. What does the education tax credit do? It's very simple. Number one, it sets up a tax-deductible scholarship fund for a religious organization to get donations to provide scholarships to low and middle-income students who can't afford the tuition. So it's a scholarship fund for religious schools. Number two, what it says for parents who pay a tuition at a parochial school or religious school, they will get a deduction for the tuition they pay. Why? Because on one hand, they're paying taxes, and the taxes are going to pay for public school, but then they have to pay to send their children to private school. We want to give them a tax deduction to make that tuition more affordable because it's fair. And third, what it does is it honors our teachers in public schools and private schools. So many teachers now go into their own pocket to bring supplies to school, to bring food to school, because they know their students don't have it. It's going to give them a $200 tax credit, every teacher, public and private, for materials that they bring into the classroom, so we can pay for that. And let me say this, because it is this simple. Education is the civil rights issue of today. It is your civil right. You tell me what education you had, and I can tell you what kind of future you're going to have. And what this country said, the promise of this country was opportunity for all. You come here and we will work with you to do the best you can with your God-given talents. That's what America's all about. That's what New York is all about. Welcome people from across the globe. Not rich people, not people who had resources, just all people. And we said as a community, we'll work with you to do well, and we'll invest in you. And we hope you do well, because when you do well, we all do well. And we all celebrate your success. And the vehicle for the mobility is the public education system and the parochial education system and our educational options. And if you get the right education, you can be whatever you want. But if you don't have the best education, you're not going to be able to compete in this global economy. That's why this choice is so important. And my friends, it's not a competition. It's not religious schools versus public schools. You don't have to choose one or the other. We support and celebrate both. We just did a budget in New York State. This state has invested more in public education than it has ever invested in the history of the state of New York, and I'm proud of that. And I'm proud of our public schools, but I'm also proud of our religious schools, and most importantly, I want parents to have the choice. This law is going to be decided in Albany. There are 4 weeks left in the legislative session. This is not 1 year, 2 years. This is not in the future. This is today. This is today. We have 4 weeks. And those assembly people and those senators are going to be deciding whether or not to pass this. We have tried to pass it before, and we have failed. Why? Because the political powers in Albany are against this, and they don't want it to pass. You know who's in favor of it? the people in this state are in favor of. And what we have to say, your message is very clear. And what's going to happen in this next 4 weeks is the politicians are going to lift their finger up and they're going to feel which way the wind is blowing. And are the Albany special interests more powerful, or are the people of this state more powerful? That means you have to speak up. You have to make your voice heard. Democracy only works when you stand up. And you have to say to your assembly people and senators, don't come home from Albany unless you pass that education tax credit, because if you do, I'm not sending you back. And you say to your assembly people, I count too. And my child counts, and my choice counts, and I honor your choice, you honor my choice. We should have a vibrant public school education, and we should have a vibrant religious education system. You do what you have to do, and we will get this passed. Thank you, and God bless you.